Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Learner and my name is Teza. Creative Learner is a great place to learn tips and tricks for Photoshop, Illustrator, Clip Studio, and even in future, After Effects Premiere tutorials are coming. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook page as well so that you will be notified whenever we upload a new tutorial. So this week, as you can see on my screen, we are going to learn vintage logo. How to create a vintage logo in Illustrator. Of course, I've been sharing you create in Illustrator. Like last week, we have learned the clock tutorial that will be really efficient, fast, easy, and also very accurate to do things in Illustrator. So same thing, vintage also. There will be a different vintage. Of course, there will be some even you have a good illustration or maybe sketching that will be very beneficial for you if you can sketch it very exactly. You just use your pen tool and puff it. But for me, I'm not very good in drawing, so that Illustrator will help me to do those like a circular shape, a geometry shape. Maybe even here's maybe somehow those like a bursting shape, or that will be really easy to do in Illustrator. So let's get into Illustrator and get started. So in Illustrator, that's my drawing. As I said, my drawing will be not very good, so maybe somehow I did the best I could, so quickly to do it. Okay, to start, I will be using the rectangle tool to draw the center metal thing here, because my drawing is not really good, but that will be like a metal thing, like a spear shape. So I will be using like a rectangle tool and just click and drag like that. So after that, once you have drawn like that, you will see that if there is no color appear here, so you click away here like that. If you don't see any color, you can just select your object again. You can come back to your swatch panel. If you don't see any swatch panel, go to your window menu and then come here. There will be a one swatch panel. You can just click on that. That will be checked, and then the swatch panel will appear. So on swatch panel, you can just simply select any color you want. I will keep it like a stroke color to black, like default. So if not, you can press D also. That will be filling your like a fill box with white. So just now it's not white, so it is like a filling your white, and then your stroke will be black. That is pressing D will be like a fill will be white, and then stroke will be black. So also that is the other way to do this as well. But I will not be keeping my fill white, so I will keep it none, and then I will keep my stroke black, so just like that. So after that, let's make it center. So to make it center, go to top. You can use control menu and then using the alignment tool here, just like that. So after that, I will be needing like a spear shape here, because of my drawing has some like a projecting on a sharp edge. So to find out the center point is using the smart guide. So already I have checked my here smart guide. If not, you can, if you don't see some indicator like me, so whenever I hover my mouse on the path, there is like a pink color, like a labeling thing is appearing. So that is because of my smart guide. So also that is very useful, your center point at the path, or there will be a one like a when you hover your mouse at the center and you come back to your path here like that, that will be snapping, and also like a label will appear like that. Make your smart guide appear. After that, you can just using your pen tool, when you come back to your path in between, you can just click. That will be adding one more point here. So very center it, and then also we don't have to worry it will be center or not. Actually, it is really centered because of the smart guide is helping us. So after that, we need to increase to the left or right. So to increase that thing is by the way, if like now you are doing the adding one more point. So to know that is without selecting your object and adding your point will not be adding on that thing. So make sure that you need to select your object, and then using the pen tool, you must add your point here, so that it will be adding one more point in our existing object. So after that, you need to move left to the point. So to do that is in Illustrator, we have left, right, in keyboard. So you will be simply thinking that, press like a left arrow key. So left and then left. The value to move the point, meaning the increment. So what value we want, we can set in Illustrator. So to do that is you press Command K or Control K. So that one will be going into the preference setting. So at the General tab, what you see is you have this box. So now it's there's some value I already added. I will delete everything. So now we are seeing px. So px meaning that is like a pixel. If you want it millimeter, you can key in mm, or if you want it centimeter, you can key in cm. So that is a shortcut for Illustrator for centimeter and millimeter. But I will keep it like a millimeter. But what is the millimeter if I key in again? I mean, let's say I want it like a 5 mm. So after that I click away. I mean, let's say at the bottom box I click it, but there is a millimeter is gone again. So to keep the millimeter is a same like a setting here. So you can come back to your at the down menu. Here's we have a unit. So that is a click on the units, and then you can change your general setting to pixel to your millimeter. So that will be changing our pixel to millimeter, and come back to your general tab, and then now here you will see that there's a 5 mm is already not changing. Whatever we key in, that will be like a 10 mm. If we key in like a cm here, so actually we are adding 10 cm, but if I click away, that will be 100 millimeter, because Illustrator automatically calculate and convert it to mm because of we set our unit value to millimeter. That is also one good thing for us to do. I mean, if things are really complicated or complex vintage logo, that will be really useful for us. So I will be keeping like a 10 mm here, so just like that. So after that, make sure you use the millimeter unit here. So after that, I will come back to unit. If I have this 10 mm after that, I can click OK. So now I will be like even I can remove the point to show again. So to remove the point is you hover your pen tool and then on the point. So the pen tool changes icon to minus icon. So after that, I can click like that. So it will be removing my point, any point. If at the corner you want to remove it, just hover your mouse. After you can click, that will be removing your any point. So after that, I will edit again. So to edit back is I will be locating and using the smart guide help, and then come back to your path, and then after that I will be click when I see the plus sign here. So now I have added one more point at the center. So after that, I will be increasing 10 mm because in our increment keyboard increment box I have set 10 mm. So it's the same thing. I can just simply using my left arrow. Now I know that my value is 10 mm. Boom, one. That will be one press will be 10 mm. Second press will be, two times will be 20 mm. So after that, I have remembered that I have already added my value in like a keyboard increment. I will be same thing to the right side. So selecting my object and then press P, and then you can like hover your mouse to find out our center point. So when I see the plus sign here, also intersect is appear, and can just click and adding one more point. And the same thing, I will be adding like a right arrow key and to the right. 1, 2, because we added 20 mm to the right. So that will be keeping the same thing. So that is how easy also, if we are setting the value in increment. So to continue to adding the one more stroke inside, because my drawing has a one more inside stroke. So in Illustrator, whatever drawing you have, we can add inside or outside stroke. So in Illustrator, we call it offset. So to do the offset there's a different way to do that. You can come back to your object and then do here's a path, and then you can do this offset as well. So there's an offset under object menu, but I will be using like an effect menu. So before the offset path, I can simply add my offset right now, but I was thinking like there's you can see that my drawings there's like a over like that pressing inside. So there's like a over shape in between, like inwardly they are squeezing my plate. So to do that, I will do that first. I will be selecting my object. Same thing, I will be using the effect menu. Go to effect menu, and then after effect menu, you can come back to your warp. So there's one budge. So effect menu, warp, and then budge. You click on the budge. That will be using the budge effect to like squeezing our plate. So right now my setting is I have already tested, because it's like a very like a similar to do thing. If your setting is like a maybe even like a increasing like a plus value, so that will be like a budging like that. So that is very easy to do that as well. So to do that, I can just simply slide it down. Using the, or you can key in minus value. You can test like a key in like a -5. You can see that if you want to see the changes, you can come back to preview menu. So that will be how preview our changes in like an effect setting. So after that, minus if not enough, so I think I will be easier to slide it down. So let's say you can slide it down. If you can make it really thinner, you can slide it down. So if you go too far, I mean, it will be squeezing like that. So but I will keep it like around like 11 or 12. I think 11 is just nice. So our playlist are like a little bit thicker, and also inward they are squeezing like that. So now we have it like a spear shape like that. So using the budge like an effect menu, setting, I like it. So after that I will be click OK. So what Illustrator did is they are adding on my object and then adding one more effect. So if I check on my like outline mode, you can come back to view, and then you can press shortcut is Command Y. So you press this like an outline mode view. So there's it is not squeezing in outline mode view, because in Illustrator effect menu will only apply to the color. So because we have a color, our stroke is a black color, so that is how Illustrator works for effect. So only in color it will apply. In outline mode view, in our path, that will be maintaining our path. So that is also a good thing. If we want to come back, we can easily remove the effect. So how to remove the effect is in Illustrator, we have an appearance tab. So you can locate your appearance tab using the window menu, and then go back to your go to your appearance here. So if not, you don't see it, you can come back here. So I have already checked the appearance tab. So when I have the appearance tab appear, so just like that, you can see that just now we added effect budge. So at the top you will see that warp, and then there will be budge. Even at the right corner there's FX, meaning there is an effect. So to remove the effect, I can just simply click on that layer. So in appearance tab, it also like a stacking, like a layer panel. Actually it is not layer panel but appearance tab, but also it works as a layer. So I can select on any like a stroke layer, fill layer, and then word or like an effect layer, anything you want, you can select it. So after you have select, you can just simply click and drag into your dustbin. So that will be removing our effect. Now you can see that we are not doing anything but simply applying effect and then also removing effect. That will be, in our creative process, that will be easier for us. So after that I will be continuing, same thing, because I need the effect back. So come back to effect. So the good thing is that in Illustrator, it will keep our recent effect in our effect menu. So you can see that there's an apply budge. That is how easy it is already, like remembering our recent effect. So I can just simply, I don't need to go back to my like a warp and then go back to your budge and then setting again. No need, just simply like at the top you have already recent remembering thing. So that is like how Illustrator kept our recent thing. So I can just simply click on budge, that will be appearing our thing. Or if not, I can just simply apply budge, that will be remembering our effect. But just now I click it, but there is no changes, because first thing that in Illustrator, whatever you want to do, you must select your object first. So after select your object and then go back to effect menu, just apply budge, that will be like remembering the recent setting and recent effect in Illustrator. So in appearance tab, it will come back here like that. So now our budging effect is already applied. After that, in my drawing I have an inner stroke. So just now I have already explained that is we call it offset. So inside or outside, we can do that very easily in Illustrator. So to do that, I will select my object. That is important. Select your object. So right now, I will not be doing anything. Let's add one more stroke here. So effect, and then in effect menu, there's an offset path. Go to path, and then after you can click on offset path. So there is adding our one more stroke in or out. So I will just simply offset path, click it, and then there will be a value you can key in. So let's say I will be, I don't know, what is changes, so I can preview it. So that will be keeping our changes. But right now, when I preview it, what you are seeing is I am not seeing the existing stroke. It just affecting my effect like offset part. If I increase it, where is my inside stroke? Is gone. So that is because we are repeating our stroke, offset path on budging effect. So that is somehow we need to keep one more stroke effect. To do that, I will be cancelling this effect right now. So after that, what I will do is I will go back to my appearance tab. So in here, we have one stroke and one fill, and then budging effect is applied. So to keep one more stroke is simply I can add stroke layer additional stroke. So in appearance tab, I can select my stroke here. So after that, to adding one more stroke is at the down you have this icon here, so saying that duplicate selected item. So I just click that, so that will be adding one more stroke here, so meaning there will be no changes, but I added, but actually I forgot to select my object, so I will select it, that will be gone because of Illustrator need to select any object you want to do. So let's do it again. So select your object and then add stroke at the bottom. So after that I click it and then it already added my object here. So it already added, I mean there's no changes because let's go back to our offset path. So effect menu, I mean I will go back to path and then offset path. So right now what I will do is now I can simply see the changes here. So when I preview it, there will be appearing one more stroke outside because I added positive value here. So I can simply like a key in minus, I mean now it's somehow nice, so I will be just adding minus F from. So when I preview back, so just click again, so that will be adding inside stroke just like that. Very easy, I mean because I'm explaining you a lot, so that's why it takes longer. So actually I can just go to effect menu, just click and then that will be done. How simple and easy it is in Illustrator. So now I have added the, I think I will be increasing like a 3 mm just like that, so that will be appearing proper way. So I will keep it as a 3 mm, so I will click OK. So that will be adding my inner stroke in Illustrator. So we have this plate, I mean we need some hole like a left and right as my sketches did. So I will simply using the ellipse tool, so I will be come back to my ellipse tool, I mean shortcut is L, so you can just simply click and drag. That will not be I mean like connecting to our existing object, that will be one more object. So that's why when you come back to your appearance tab, everything is changed. There will be no effect because we are not selecting this plate object because we have come back to this object. So there is somehow Illustrator is making new object, new appearance tab panel, so for its object. So I have added one more circle to make it center. I will be making key selection, so drag, I mean you can simply click and drag like that. So after that you can click on your plate again, so that will be key selection, and then at the top you can make it center just like that. So same thing to the right. So what if now we have come to the point that what if I want to make it same like spacing, so there will be a we can just draw like a gap here like that, we can do that, but I will keep it same technique, that keyboard increment. So what I can do is that I can simply start from my whatever point I have it. Let's say I will be simply drawing my center from here. So using your ellipse tool, and then you can locate your point here. After that, holding shift and option, that will be from that point you are drawing one ellipse shape. So when I get it my ellipse, I can simply just like increase your keyboard. So 1 2, so that is somehow also very easy for us. So I move right 20 mm because I have set 20 mm in my increment. So after that I can come back to my point here. So what I can do is if I will be drawing here, let's say I have this center point, holding the option and shift key, so I can just simply click and drag like that. That will not be the same object here like that. So what if we keep it the same, just option and then keep it the same like that. So I will be center it like that. So after that I can move it 1 and 2, so that will be also same spacing, same gap in between. If not, we can, the other way what we can do is that we can group this two circle, group it. After that I will be making key selection to our plate, click again, I can simply center it. That is already centered because there's a different way, because Illustrator has a very effective to like your creative process will not be holding, so that will be how easy for us. So many way to do things. So I will be ungroup it again, so that will be my circle already aligned. Let's say I want it, somehow like the circle is too big. So if I want it small, I will be just simply holding shift and option, and then I can simply click and drag. That will be smaller, but we need the gap to be at the left and right. So I think too simple like that, I will be snapping here. So somehow I will be like, now I will using the key selection tool. I will not be using keyboard increment because there will be some like a different technique we need to do to make it fast process. So after that I have simply like I'm guessing the center point. After that I can group it, So grouping my two circles, and then after that I will be just clicking again and then click again on my plate, making a key selection. So after that I can simply come to the top and then make it center. So that will be also somehow like making a center. Using the keyboard increments also we can, but also there's a different way to do this as well. After that, I think I will be adding my text here. So what if we add our text like a creative learner? So I think I will be adding my creative learner here. So L-E-N-E creative learner. So using the text tool in Illustrator, just simple. You can just add your text, just click, and using your text tool, you can click it and anything you can type it. So that will be in text tool in Illustrator. So changing the font, same thing. So I will be at the top. We have this menu. We can change the font, whatever font we want. What if Century got it? So those circle thing font here. So I will make it center. So to center and alignment again, same thing. I will be click and drag the whole thing. After that, click again on the plate. I will be making center, top and bottom, just like that. So for text, it is not really center because of the text. Keeping the text space. So in Illustrator, if you have decided your text no need to change and then you need to really align, what you can do is go to your type menu. You can create outline. So after create outline, you can click again and then click on your plate. After that, you can just align. That will be without keeping the text, and then that will be somehow we cannot edit it back, but that will be one way to align in Illustrator. So after that, I will be drawing the circle at the top. Let's continue. I have already 25 minutes, so I think I will keep it short. So to draw a circle at the top, I was simply using the ellipse tool. I will draw like that. So when you draw an ellipse like that, now it's fill is this black color. If I don't want it, I can come back to my swatch panel here. I can fill it none, and the stroke will be black. So I want to show you how easy to do things in Illustrator. So I will be making two lines for top and for bottom separately. So to do that, we need one more offset path in this circle thing, because in circle we need some line will be here, cutting here like that. So what I will do is selecting your plate object here like that. So after that, I will be adding one more offset path outside. So to do that, come back to your appearance tab. So I will be adding one more stroke. So simply select any stroke and then add your any now if I add my stroke, having my stroke path effect. So that will be keeping my effect and stroke here like that. So it is also easier for us. Actually it added a stroke like that. So after that, what I can do is click on offset path on your appearance panel and then click it, and then what you will see is you will be coming back to your offset setting. So what you can do is you can easily change. You can increase the thing. Let's say now it's a minus, we want it a plus, so meaning I can just remove the plus sign. I can preview it. That will be like a 3 mm, a very symmetric. That will be equal size, so 3 mm outside of my stroke. So but that will be only we are making mark for our circle, because there's a half circle here. So I will be keep clicking OK. So after that, I have one more stroke added, but how to cut in between, because of this in between that thing, we don't need it outside the offset path. So to do that, on our this plate layer, what I can do is go back to your object menu. In appearance tab also we have this effects are applied, but now we have already set our effect in appearance tab. So but now we need to separate our this outline stroke, outline offset from our effect setting. So to do that, in object menu, you are selecting your plate object here. After that, you go back to your object menu and you can just simply expand appearance. So after that, you can just come back to object menu and then ungroup it. So that will be ungrouping your object just like that. Now we have outside stroke is separated from our object. So what I will do is selecting your circle and your outside this stroke. So what I will do is removing unnecessary path. So same thing, I will be using the shape builder tool, shift M. So whatever you don't want it, like you're holding your option, you can just click and drag it wherever you don't want it, your path. So I can just holding option will be removing thing. So in between center also I don't want it. So I can just click and drag like that. So that will be separating, removing my object just like that. So that is how easy, and I mean you can see that now. I mean our drawings are already really accurate and also very symmetric. I mean that will not be running, I mean up and down, or there will be, the size will be very same size in Illustrator, I mean using this technique. So after that, let me continue. I mean there's one line inside, I mean there's a line in the circle. So to do that, I will be simply like what if we just do the simply like line 2 using just like that. I mean I've shown you in my clock tutorial. So same thing, I can select any object and to copy my stroke. So using the line 2, I draw a like that to center it. I can select any object, maybe click again on our circle object and then make a key selection, and then at the top we can align at top and bottom. So I think I will bring it down like that. So after that, I can just simply increase my line, because I don't need it, I mean to the left or to the right. So I just simply to the right. I mean let's say I can just, here I can also, what I can do is I can still use my effect menu to increase that as well. So what I meant is your line is already drawn. What you want is you want to increase to the right, I mean to the right or left, whatever you want to increase your line. So in Illustrator, in effect menu, what we have is we have a distort and transform. So when you come back to transform, I mean you come to transform, I mean what you will see is we can duplicate our movement. So what I mean is let's say I want to move like a 1 mm line to the left and right. So right meaning that will be positive value. So 1 mm, I mean vertically I don't need to move it, so I will keep it 1 mm to the move, and after I can preview it. So when I 1 mm, that will be really small. I mean what if we move it like a 10 mm? So when I click away, so that will be 10 mm. If it's too big, so what if I want it like a 5 mm? So click away. I think 5 mm will be nicer. I want to keep it same increment. So what I can do is at the setting at the bottom we have a copy here. So in the copy I can just key in whatever copy I want. Let's say you want it like really many things. I mean let's say 30 copies. It means it automatically copy 5 mm increase and then moving, and then also copy my line. So just like that. So that is how Illustrator works in transform effect menu. So when I get it, I mean let's say I will be guessing like maybe let's keep it really enough, so that will be 60. So that will be line copy to 60. I can preview it. That will be my 60 line appear. I can come back and change. So I click away, OK, and then there will be my line here. Actually, this is just one line. If you come back to your outline mode, there is only one line, but that is appearing because of the effect menu. Let's come back to our effect in appearance tab menu. So I will click on the transform effect. I can change it back whatever copy I want. I mean, let's say 30. That will be how it will be appear. So that will be enough. So 30 is enough. So after that, I can simply expand my object. So what I will do is I'll come back to object menu, expand appearance. So that is the same thing just now I did for circle. So after that, I can just simply select my line and circle. So that will be making key selection and center it. So somehow that is also, I want it like a very first, like a keeping line increase. After that, I can expand appearance and then align it. So that will be also very accurate. You can see that the gap here. So now I can ungroup my line. So to do that, in keyboard shortcut is a Command Shift G, or you can come back to object menu and then you can just ungroup it. So that will be ungrouping everything. So whatever you don't want it, you can select it and then you can press the delete key on keyboard. Just remove it just like that. Now we have removed our unnecessary line. I think the line is high enough to cover our circle, both circle. So I will keep it like that. So, but for line, I mean, what if we want it like the line just inside of our circle? So what I want is okay. So I don't need it at the bottom. So that will be long enough for our top circle here like that. And then in Illustrator we have clipping marks. So what I meant is in circle, I will click it, I can copy it, and then I can paste it at front. So I will be selecting all the line here, and then I can just, I think I will be cut it out. So Command X, after that I can select my line object, because I want to paste in front. So whatever selected object will be going back. So when I press Command F, that will be placing at the same place and front. So placing and all the front, and then I get it. After that, I select it all, and then clipping marks. To do that is in Object menu. I mean, we have this make Command 7. So I just in Object menu come to clipping marks and then click on make. So that will be making your clipping marks just like that. So that is how easy also. I mean, just making a line, keeping inside the circle. So we have it. That will be same thing to our at the bottom circle also. If you want it, I mean, what if we want it? I mean, we change our mind and in like a creative process, we want just only keeping our top line only just like that, adding one more stroke inside. That will be also same thing. I mean, what if we do like simply adding stroke here in Appearance tab panel and then go to Effect menu. So after that, I will be adding one more offset path. So that will be, I can increase, I mean, in the outside or inside. So we are seeing like inside. So I will key in like a minus value. I can preview it. So I like it. I can click OK. So that will be keeping my stroke here effect like that. So after that will be at the bottom and top. I mean, we need like a sum, like changing offset value. After that, I needed one more like a line, I mean inside circle. So what I will do is I will expand my object, so appearance, and then expand appearance. So after that, I will do like a Command Shift G. So I will be selecting inner circle, but now we need a line. So we have a line at the top object, but actually it is when I select on my line, that will be selecting my circle. I can select on my object. So you have a different way. I mean, you can come back to your layer and you look for your thing, or if not, you can just, if whatever, I mean, you are clipping marks in later version, I mean in CC version or maybe even earlier version, you can just select any object that is already clipping marks. So we call it clipping marks because circle is clipping everything. If you come to outline mode view, there's like I mean extra lines are appearing, but as I said, I mean in After Effects, the whatever effects applied in only color mode. Even using the outline mode view, I cannot select any object because of the clipping marks. To select the inside object in clipping marks, you click, or sorry, you double click on the object, and then when you double click it, it go inside. Like just now, I mean in like a pattern tutorial, we have this different view appear. So in this view, what you can do is go back to your outline mode view. You can just start select your object. So there is how easy also in Illustrator. So after that, you can copy, Command C, you are copying your line. So after that, what you will do is pasting in the same place, but inside circle. I mean, so that will be Command F. That will be pasting same, but you will be holding your shift and you will bring down your object at the bottom like that. But this thing will be at the bottom of our inner circle. So I will be cutting, I will be pasting at the back. And then after that, I can simply Command G because group the line, because that will be easier for us to select all the line at the one click. So when I come back to my inner circle and like a shift click, that will be selecting circle and line. So after that, same thing, I can go back to my object menu, clipping marks, and then make, and the shortcut will be Command 7. So that will be somehow inner circle will be doing like that. So that is I mean, really easy. I mean, even like a creative process also very, we can develop quickly like an option. I mean, we can simply, develop our creative process, different options very easily. I mean, that will be, because, you are doing things in Illustrator. That's why I'm sharing like how Illustrator is powerful. I can continue. I think I have a drawing like a top and bottom. I can continue all the things even in the circle like this. What if we just finish like a text at the corner things? At the round like a text. So to add the text in Illustrator like a round shape, here you can see that let's say there's an Illustrator or vector text is at the circle shape. So to do that, it is also very easy. We have this like keeping the pattern, because when we are viewing in our outline mode view, we have this circle is already keep it in our information. So using that circle, same thing, I will be, to copy the circle, I will be inside, double clicking my clipping mask, that will be going into our new view, that will be clipping mask view. So after that, I will copy my circle. So after I copy my circle, I will paste at the same place. So that will be Command F. So after I have pasted, I will be filling my stroke color with black. So after that, I have filled my black color like that. So that is what we have the circle. I can just simply, adding one more path here. So offset path, I will come back to offset setting, and then I will adding one more offset increasing. So preview it. So now you will be keeping a gap because of the offset, and can click OK. So I like it. So after that, I will be expanding my effect. So expand appearance in the object menu. So after that, I will be using same thing, selecting my circle shape, and then using my type on a path tool, and then I can just click it, and then I will be just now we type it like a vintage logo. I will be typing vintage logo here. So after that, I can increase my fonts. Command A, select all text, and then I can change my font here, maybe like 21 or 24. So just like that. After that, I can like simply use my move tool, and then I can double check again. So that thing I can like center it. So after that, I can like same process just now I show you. So at the center, because of the smart guide view, you will be snap it. So that will be when you touch the center, you can just simply, sometimes there will be some snapping like that. So now just like that. So now using the offset path, and then you are like increasing your logo at the top. So now let's say, when you need it back like some circle at the top of it, you can do that. That will be, not ending my tutorial. There will be a lot if you want it like a gap in text. So you can come back to your text tool and then select it, and think you can just simply increase, or maybe even you can increase your gap as well. So in Illustrator, we have this type 2 setting. So what we call is you can just simply Command T. That will be shortcut for our text setting. So you can increase, like you click on the show option menu. So after that, you can increase your gap. What I meant is you can, in between text, you can increase your gap. So increasing your gap also just like that. Maybe we can increase like a 500. What if we added gap just like that, vintage logo at the center? So there will be a somehow nicer logo appear. So I can keep on doing that, guys. So I think that tutorial will be really long. So now I show you, really simple how, just now I showed you that in my screenshot, there will be a vintage logo in different style. At the text, at the top, at the bottom, even we can add some crops. We can do shape like a sunburst shape or line and many things. Even like adding a frame. So that won't be endless. So let me stop the tutorial right now. Because let me review back the tutorial. I started with the sketch, but that is somehow the sketch is not really nice. But in Illustrator, we have a really effective tool. Today I show you that like using the effect menu. You can simply like you can squeeze because of the warp effect menu. We have like an arc, we have a different effect. Let's say I want to review it back. So there's like this shape. Let me keep it back center. Go back to your effect menu. In warp effect, you can just choose any warp shape. In Illustrator, you can play around. There will be like a banner just like that at the top. At the banner, it is an arc, and then after that you can just, today we have used the budge. So budging is just like that. You can just play around. So that will be somehow like a metal thing squeezed in the center. So just like that. So that is a budge effect. And then after that, I added one more stroke using the offset menu. That will be using the offset effect. So that will be adding one more stroke inside or outside. So that is how easy also if you want it outside, or you want to keep it the effect. So that is we need to come back to our appearance tab. So in appearance tab, you can simply add your any stroke you want. So adding your stroke, and then after that you will be keeping your stroke effect. Let's say I've selected this stroke. I have added one more stroke in appearance tab, and then come back to your path, and then offset path. So that will be like adding your stroke. So that will be how easy for us to adding stroke after stroke, and then also even like a budging effect, or maybe other effect. Just now I showed you like a line, like a transform effect as well. So in effect menu, we have a lot. There will be many effect we can use in this Illustrator, because and using that effect also very accurate. Just now I show you that vintage logo, adding also the line in between, very center, very accurate, and also the text in between also very center. Also the circle thing here also in Illustrator, it's more on like an engineer thing. I mean, like a vintage logo, like a geometry shape thing. I mean, very accurate. And also the effect thing is very fast for our creative process. I mean, you can just simply click, I mean, play around. That will be creating your vintage logo just like that. So let me delete this one back. So that is how I did, I mean, how I will create a vintage logo in Illustrator. Also, I want to encourage you that, I mean, using the Illustrator will be more efficient, also more faster, I mean, compared to other software, because you want to thinking of upgrading your skill or your level. That will be, I want to encourage you that using the Illustrator will be the good way to level up your skill. Okay, thank you guys. Hopefully you learned something, or if you like the tutorial, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also turn on your notification bell and follow us on Facebook page as well, so that you will be notified whenever we upload a new tutorial. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Hopefully I will see you in next tutorial.